Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 16 of the Solo Death walkthrough series. Kyle Skull River here looks quite a bit different than he did the last time you saw him. Over the course of the week, I did manage to get all of the uh, Zeus pieces of the Mount Olympus set, so armed Mount Olympus to get this gear. I didn't go into too much detail in the last video, so I'll go ahead and cover it now. As you run through and you do Mount Olympus, each and every time that you beat Mount Olympus, you earn progress towards a badge. That badge can be found in your badge, or in, I guess, your character book, your spell book, whatever you want to call this. And you can view it in the Aquila Badges tab right here. This is the one we got for beating him the first time. The badge you need to work towards is this one right here called Zeus Loosener. And this one requires you to beat Zeus 35 times. So in the last video when I had mentioned that I wasn't the big fan of the gear pity system they implemented for Aquila, this is pretty much the big reason why. Doing this dungeon 35 times is a lot of attempts. And normally I'd be like, oh, well, you know, the beautiful thing about the pity system in this game is then you can take and you can craft gear for your other characters. So when you come back here the next time around, you won't have to do it so many times. And normally that's, you know, the case, and that's cool and everything, except the dungeon tends to really only give you enough reagents to craft like one set of gear. So you really have to rely more on the drops than do anything else to get gear. Which I think is unfortunate, because this did take me pretty much the whole week, up to the point where I started recording here. And I think I ended up having to craft 2 of the 3 pieces, so I don't really even have much left for the reagents. So if we come in here and go to crafting, this is the reagent it uses for all the gear when you craft it. Let me find this one. Yeah, so this is like the hat, for example, that dropped in Mount Olympus that I now have. And it costs 160 of this reagent to be able to make this. So as you can see, I only even have enough to make basically one thing. If I needed another one, I'd be in some serious trouble here, because I wouldn't be able to make it. I can't remember what it's Cloak of Fate right here. So yeah, this also costs 160. So I don't even have enough to make 2 pieces anymore, because I already had to make 2. Which basically left me only with enough to make. So yeah, I'm not really personally the biggest fan of this pity system. I think it's kind of garbage. I think doing 35 defeats of Zeus and Mount Olympus on every single one of your characters every single time you get here is ridiculous. This takes a lot of time. It wasn't quick. I mean, if you do it with a bunch of high level people, then maybe it would go pretty quick. But if you're a level 30 running through this, it can be kind of rough. It'll take you a pretty good amount of time. It really will. And you don't necessarily need to get a full set of like Zeus gear at this level, but just with the way the drop system now works, it makes more sense than it did before, if you want my opinion, to go for the full set. Because you can't there's 2 sets. There's the tier 1 set, which is the Zeus gear, and then the tier 2 set, which is the Senator gear. The Senator gear is perfectly fine. You can definitely get through enough of the game to at least get to your next gear upgrade off Senator gear alone. So like, it's not, you don't like need to get this Zeus gear, but it's nice to have, and if you're gonna put in the work anyways, you might as well do it. Especially since the drops are so unreliable. I don't think in the entire 35 runs, I don't know that I even got a single piece of Senator gear for death. It was all for other schools, so I didn't even get Senator gear that I could use, so this was like basically a necessity. I was pretty much just rocking the same gear setup that I had when I did the solo episode, episode 15, so what you guys would have all been and used to seeing. So just wanted to talk about that really briefly before I moved on. This is the gentleman you can talk with to craft the gear after you acquire the Zeus Loosener badge. It's all in here with all the gear that's offered here in Aquila, so you'll have to dig for it a little bit and find it, but it's in here. And once you get the badge, you can craft it. You can see here. I guess real quick, just for anybody who's curious, I'll show what I all managed to get in those 35 runs. I got looks like, so I got a fire hat, myth hat, a life hat, balance hat, and then we got myth robe, fire robe, ice robe, balance robe, storm robe. I got a lot for other schools, and ironically, almost none for my own. I think the first drop I got was the boots. I want to say it was the boots was the only drop I actually managed to get, and then no senator gear, and then I ended up having to craft the other two. And then of course the wand, the Sky Iron Hosta, comes from Ares. You get it every single time you beat him. Your backpack will eventually end up with a gazillion of these things. If you do 35 runs, you'll have 35 of them. So yeah, I also went ahead and cleaned that out. I don't want to say too much yet. I may have found a new method for gold farming, but I'm gonna keep doing it and really, make sure that it's good before I throw it up on YouTube. But these are the stats now. We've got 36 death damage. The other schools isn't important for us, honestly. We do have 10 universal resist across the board. This will change as we work through pets, and I'll get into where I'm at with that in a second here too. And then we have 28 to myth and 27 to life specifically. Pretty much all the Zeus gear gives like if you're a elemental school, you'll have resist to the other two elemental schools, and if you're a spirit school, you'll have resist to the other two spirit schools. And I want to say balance gets spirit school resist too. Back here. Yep, yeah, it looks like it's spirit school. I'm pretty sure it's just spirit school. Yep. So there's that, and then we also have 9 accuracy now, which is amazing. This will help us out quite a bit with that fizzling problem that we seem to run into a lot more than I honestly thought we would. And then I've also got 20 healing in and 20 healing out, which means pretty much every single time we use a healing spell going forward, we're going to get 40% more out of that healing spell. You can kind of think of this as like damage for other spells, but this affects healing specifically. So our pixies here will be doing, let's see, that'd be another 160, so 560 instead of the 400 on the card here. So that's nice. That's pretty handy. When we get Satyr, that'll also make that spell a little busted. I'm not gonna lie. I did get gardening up a little bit to rank 4. So I've been doing that a little bit. Oh, power pips. That's what I was gonna show. So we're at 44%. Not like a crazy upgrade from what we had. I think it was at 40 before. But it's a little bit better, so that'll be super nice. But our goal for today's episode is to start Grizzleheim. So I'm gonna go ahead and the pet. Let me touch on that really quick, briefly. So I did do another hatch. I think this is gonna be the first pet that I end up taking up to ancient. So the way I kind of do pet training is, of course, you wanna get all the talents you're looking for in the pool before you go super crazy. So I believe I've done that here. I believe all the talents I want are here. So I should be okay to take. I'm just gonna take it to ancient. But effectively, the way I like to do my pets is I'm gonna get this pet up to ancient, and then I'm just gonna basically just repeatedly hatch and hatch and hatch and hatch and hatch. Until I get the stats where I want them to. If I could make this a 2.0 pet, that'd be pretty sweet, honestly. I'm not gonna lie, it'd be kind of nice. I don't really need to, though. These stats are more than enough to get everything we want, so I'm not worried about it, but it'd be nice to have. Very least I could throw it in the kiosk. So I'm going to get this one up to ancient. As soon as it gets to ancient, hopefully it gets another talent we want. I'll take Death Dealer or Spellproof, whichever of those two. Even Mighty is fine, I guess. And then we'll hatch again and kind of just repeat that process a couple of times until I feel comfortable that the chances of us getting all the talents we want on a pet are up there enough that, I can reasonably take a pet to Mega, because it's quite the investment. I'm not gonna lie. It's on a fresh account, pet training is pretty difficult. But now that I got all of that out of the way, let's get Grizzleheim started. So I already went and placed a teleporter down next to God, what's his name? Balder Goldpaws, yeah. So we gotta talk to him because there's like a little prequest for Grizzleheim before you do it. So we're gonna do that really quick.
I am Baldur Goldpaws, a trader from far-off Grizzleheim, and I've just discovered this world. I have sailed across the great sea of skies, establishing new ports to trade my wares in. I would like to establish trade relations with the merchants here, if they be friendly. Can you help me? If Prospector Zeke is here, go speak to him. Then speak to your treasure card dealer, and anyone who sells furniture. If you can do that for me, I will be thankful.
Okay. Talk to Prospector Zeke here. And I specifically wait to do Grizzleheim until after Mount Olympus for one reason and one reason alone. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't expect these videos to do super well because Grizzleheim is crazy boring. It's, at least this first part is, it's not very entertaining. Even if you do it at the level you're supposed to do it at, it's not anything special. So I wait till after Mount Olympus because it goes quicker with the better stats and everything. Not to mention the Skyrim Hosta giving us the extra pip is going to be very helpful.
Hey there, young wizard. How's it going for you so far?
You explain that Baldur Goldpaws asked you to help set up trade relations between Grizzleheim and Wizard City.
That's great. Old Zeke's always happy to do business with the bears. Tell Baldur I'll trade with him.
That's one prospect answered. Screens are getting pretty bad, guys. Not gonna lie.
Hello there, young student. Welcome to the library. Can I help you find any book or card in particular?
You tell Mr. Argleston about the trade agreement Baldur is trying to set up.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. I would be happy to trade treasure cards with Grizzleheim. I wonder if we can set up a library exchange program.
Another prospect spoken for. Albert here. I don't think I've gone know that I've gone into the shopping district stores in this playthrough. They're kind of useless. I mean, you don't really need to go back here. Other than the dye shop to like change the color of your clothes and stuff. That's kind of nice. But all these other ones back here aren't. There's really nothing going on. And this is the housing guy. I think I might have shown this off in an episode. Because I talked about not buying a house until Arc 2. Yeah, Arc 2.
Welcome to my shop, young wizard. Can I interest you in some furniture for your dorm room?
You tell Mr. Quickhammer about the flying boat with the trader from Grizzleheim.
That's great. I offer a selection of furnishings from across the spiral. Adding imports from Grizzleheim will certainly be good for my business.
Yeah. Back to Baldur. I did also say too, the next time that you saw the episode, I was probably going to be in Mushu Stitch. I decided to wait. I'll keep the Mount Olympus gear while we're going through Grizzleheim, and then when I start Mushu, that's when I'll be in our little get-up, and I'll do the Stitch on videos. See it when I.
Did you get agreement from the three merchants? Good! You have brought two worlds closer together. You have my thanks. I would like to reward you for your help getting your merchants to agree to trade with my world. Would you like to take a quick trip with me to visit Grizzleheim, my home? It will not take long now that I know the way. You can greet some tradesmen from Grizzleheim and see if they will trade with Wizard City. In Grizzleheim, speak to Thrain Stormfriend, Vider Silverthread, and Dane Goldright. Let them know I sent you with word of new trade partners.
Yeah, then before we get going here, I'll also explain too that when I start doing the world-themed stitches too, I'm probably going to buy some crowns for this account because I don't really want to waste these I've been earning, and I don't think you should either, honestly, on stitching unless you got enough, left over. But I'd like to eventually buy like a Crowns mount on this account, or because I'm banning myself from using pack gear. If you were someone who was going through the game and you were also, you know, earning crowns and making sure you were keeping up with this, you could definitely buy pack gear. I wouldn't recommend doing that until you get to at least like level 60. Honestly, you just don't need it this early in the game, but I can cover that more when I get there. So I would recommend you continue to save your crowns. But I'm going to keep a spreadsheet. That way, if I buy, let's say I buy 2,500 crowns for stitching, I don't confuse what I have here with the 2,500 I bought. So every single thing I purchase with my earned crowns, I'll just keep track of in the spreadsheet. And then I can spend the rest on stitching it with that. Or just stitching. Exclusively for stitching.
You look like you could use a new rune-carved ring. I have just the one in stock.
Before he tries to sell you something, you explain about the trade agreement.
That sounds like a great idea. Sign me up. You should head back to tell Baldur that we're willing to trade.
You there. Can I interest you in a new robe? This is a cold land, and you should try to stay warm. What size are you?
You explain that you're not robe shopping. You're here to set up trade with Wizard City.
Trade with Wizard City? I can certainly do that. I will have to get some smaller sizes in stock, though.
Welcome, young outsider. Where are you from, and what can I do for you?
You explain that you're from Wizard City, and that you're here to set up trade with Grizzleheim.
Sounds good to me. I'll trade with anyone with gold in their pocket.
Kind of surprised too that we never had to talk to Merle before heading over here and like being a trade ambassador. That's kind of interesting. Just kind of did this on our own. So Nick Jonas, for anybody who didn't know.
They are in agreement then. Good news! We have done well this day. Ready yourself. I will take you home now. It was a pleasure working together. I wish you well in your future journeys.
Okay, so we've established contact with those in Grizzleheim. Now I believe we have to go and talk to Merle Ambro to begin the actual Grizzleheim quest line, because I don't think he had it. Yeah, he doesn't have it. Should have been paying attention when I left. Off to Merle.
Your arrival is well timed. I must ask for your assistance once more. As you know, there are many worlds in the spiral. Wizard City is one, and you likely know of others. One of these worlds is Grizzleheim, a cold and wintry place peopled with fierce warriors. The Grizzleheim world tree was once linked to the rest of the spiral, but the contact was lost. We thought it was destroyed. Bartleby now informs me that the portal to Grizzleheim is now active and travel there is possible. Oh, fortuitous news indeed. We have great need of friends in this dark time. Go to Grizzleheim and make allies of the fierce warriors dwelling there. You should speak to their king.
Right, we'll go meet with the king of Grizzleheim. And I think while we're going through Grizzleheim too, I'm not going to allow myself to use the the monstrous treasure card enchants. Take those out of the deck now. Just because it's kind of a waste. This world's not that hard. These bosses aren't going to have a lot of health. The mobs don't have a lot of health. In fact, I think it's less than what we were just dealing with in Marleybowl, if I'm not mistaken. Especially the bosses. The bosses definitely have less health, so this should be really. But it's necessary. You should definitely do Grizzleheim. Just the get extra spells for doing this, and XP's nothing. You don't get for XP, so it's definitely not worth doing for that. The extra spells are kind of nice.
Ho there, Outlander. What brings you to Grizzleheim?
You explain that you've been sent to speak with the king of Grizzleheim.
You want to speak with our king? Not today, little wizard. Our king doesn't just speak with any young cub who asks. No offense intended, but only the most worthy of warriors can speak with the king of Grizzleheim. I'm Bjorn Ironclaws, a famous hero of my people. If you make a name for yourself, I will speak for you and see that you get to meet our king. No one here trusts an outsider. All great warriors of Grizzleheim have a band of allies to trust and rely on. If you want to see our king, you should become a member of my band. My men will show you our ways, so you're no outsider. Go and speak to my sword brother Hagen Shieldbreaker in our camp by the river. Tell him I sent you.
That's a funny warning, 'cause I think you have to be level 20 to even get here. Not really sure why that pops up. Heck, if you want to add a warning to one of these areas, it should be Winter Tusk. That stuff's no joke, man. That's going to be pretty hard. Because if we're looking at main storyline specifically, then technically I still haven't, like, died at all in this series yet, because I died, okay, so I died farming Alakane, but that was because of a disconnect, so I don't think that's really fair to call that a death. And then I died in Mount Olympus, but Mount Olympus is side content. So at least in the mainline story, nothing has happened, but Winter Tusk might be the first time I lose to a like a regular boss fight.
What brings you to the camp of Bjorn Ironclaws? Bjorn sent you? He wants us to teach you our ways and see if you're worthy of joining our band? Fair enough. Let us start then. If you wish to learn our ways and join this band, you must learn to be fearless at all times. Fear profits you nothing. Your destiny was woven long ago, and nothing you do can escape fate. It is best to meet challenges with courage in your heart and a blade in your hand. I do not know if you are cowardly or courageous. Only you know which. Go to our old burial ground and defeat 3 troubled warriors. Return then, and tell me what was in your heart.
I also don't think when I get to doing Winter Tusk, like normally what I would do when I play through the games, I do all the side quests in Winter Tusk because it gives you a boatload of XP. But I don't think we'll need to do that because do that. Yeah, I don't think we'll need to do that since they went back and changed like all the XP in these lower worlds. I just don't think that's necessary anymore. I guess you could say proof of that being the fact that I am just done with Marleybone and I'm level, I think, 32. I'm over leveled in a place where I'm normally under leveled. You know, yeah, let's just get him out of here. It's not not super difficult, so we don't need to play so optimally, I suppose. Of stats now. We're not used to in this series. We have stats. And they're not horrible. They're not half bad. All right. Defeated your lost brethren.
We heard the troubled warrior's howls from here. Were you fearful, or were you fierce? Speak the truth, for I will know if you do not. Good then. That's what I like to hear. Stay courageous. Luck may save you sometimes, but only if your courage holds. A hero is nothing without his reputation, and a great part of that reputation comes from the deeds of his father. You're an outsider, though, and no one knows who your father was, so we must get a great hero to speak highly of you, as if you were his own child. Go back into the burial ground, to the mound of Ingvar Sharptooth. Convince him that you're a worthy heir to his reputation.
Okay. We will level up this episode as well. I know, ironic considering I said this doesn't really give you anything for XP, but I'm incredibly close to leveling up anyways. Also, we will not level up after that. Honestly, I don't even know if doing the first part of Grizzleheim, then this... because I think there's a level... like a level 20 part, and then maybe there's also a level 30 part. I guess I've never really looked into it too much, because sometimes I wait all the way to the end of Dragonspire to even bother with this.
What manner of being are you to confront me so openly? You would like me to speak well of you, that you can share in my reputation? I will not give my regard so lightly. Prove your worth in battle.
Oh, we're gonna... It's Ghost to do that for us. Interesting. But yeah, we... oh, hey, wait a minute. Out of there. Well, yeah, we won't level up again. This will probably be the only level up I get the entire time we're doing this. Honestly, the 45 blade and the prism is probably enough to take this guy out with the vampire. That's how easy this is going to be for us. There's not going to be a whole lot of strategy involved to doing this. Probably spend most of the time in this portion of the walkthrough just talking about things related to the walkthrough. If anybody has any like questions, feel free to pop them in the comments and I'll answer them like while we're doing fights as I'm going through here, because this will take... I hope I can get like 2 or 3 episodes out of this. Should, I think. As restricting myself from using enchants will this require a little more time, because if I was allowing myself to use enchants, I'd just be using Banshee to take all these guys out, and I wouldn't even need to bother with the blades, I don't think. I probably should have mentioned this earlier too, but these troubled warriors are the first enemy in the game that we come across which drop couch potatoes. So if you want to farm for couch potatoes, these are the first people you can do that against. I'm not going to, just because we don't have an AoE. Or specifically a 4-pip AoE. So I can't, like, first turn them.
I'm impressed, young cub. You've proven you've got mettle. You faced me without fear and defeated me with great skill. You can tell any who ask that I am as proud of you as if you were my own child.
I'll be waiting to start farming these guys for couch potatoes until we get to at least the science center in Celestia, because that's where you get or that's where I guess it's Drowned Dan, I want to say is what his name is. He's a key boss in Celestia. Drops spell elements for a spell called Ship of Fools, which is Death's 4-pip AoE.
So, did you win words of praise from Ingvar Sharptooth? Excellent. Are you certain you aren't from here? You are taking to our ways as if born to them. Now, it is one thing to defeat spirits, but it is what a hero does among the living that echoes through eternity. Not far from here is a camp of split-hoof barbarians. When they grow daring enough, they harass and steal from the honest folk of Grizzleheim. Go there and give those split-hoof barbarians a lesson in manners. That should earn you the favor of the townsfolk and help your heroic reputation. Defeating one of them should be enough to show them their troublesome ways are at an end.
Yeah, you know, we're just built different like that. Those teleporters, yeah, they were. Okay. Oh, there's also, I mentioned this too. If you're a life wizard and you also want to get a 4-pip AoE, this is, I think he's a wooden, maybe he's golden. Actually, no, he might be a golden keep. I'd have to look it up, but over here underneath this waterfall, this instance right here, these are key boss instances. So if you have a, again, he might be a golden key, I'm not too sure. This is the instance name right here, King Boar, so you would have to look that up to find out for sure. But if you have keys, you can come in here and fight this guy. He drops spell elements for Rat Spin, which is life's 4-pip AoE. You can farm him for those spell elements and then use that to learn Rat Spin. It does require a school pip to use. The big difference between the life and death 4-pip AoEs versus I think literally every other school in the game, because I think everybody else gets an AoE of some kind. Is the death and life ones use a school pip, so you have to have Arch Mastery rating to do that. Which obviously we have. We socketed to this bad boy in Arch Mastery Jewel. But that's why I wait until like after level 50 to even bother doing all that stuff, because that's when you get reliable Arch Mastery. You get a school pip basically every single turn. Get that out. Keep doing what we've been doing. Oh yeah, I could get rid of one of you now. Nice. The other nice thing about the Sky Iron Husk is it gives us a power pip at the start of every game, start of every fight, so we'll always start with a minimum of 3 pips now, and at best 4. Will this? Yeah. It should. It should. If it doesn't, I think we gotta wand it. Perfect. That's so nice having stats now. So nice. Yeah, we've only got 36 damage. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but basically a blade for free.
I'm sure that one will think twice before he troubles the town again. You're well on your way to becoming a hero. We've been ordered by Bjorn to stay in this camp, but there's something you can do for us. Bjorn told us he was sending Einar Thunderhammer, a blacksmith, to our camp to tend our weapons and armor. He's late, probably captured by the barbarians. Why not stroll over to the Splithoof camp and see if you can find him? If he's locked up, you'll have to find a key to free him. Just defeat Splithoof Rangers until you find the one with the key.
Okay, we can do that, and there's the level up. Now level 33. I think Dworgen is talking to us because I think we can learn a new spell. I don't remember which one it is, but
Yes! You are truly powerful now. I have another spell for you.
oh, you know what? I think it's the damage bubble. I think. I'm in no hurry to do that, but I do think at the start of next episode, I will do the spell quest we have available with Dworgen, and then I'll go learn whatever it is we just got. Get that stuff out of the way. So this guy's got a little more health than the other guys do, so we'll have to do a little bit more buffing. I think 620 health's right up there with maybe some of the more dangerous mobs we fought in Marleybone. But as a level 20, you can still totally take these guys. Let's do a little experiment here and see if just a single trap vamp will take out a 620 health mob. I could do the math to figure out the answer to that question, but I'm too lazy for that. We'll just do this. Yeah, so we're a little short. Good to know. But we got a one hit for him, so. Not with that. I guess I could start packing even Skeletal Pirate now. We can use that pretty reliably since we get power pips 44% of the time, which is not half bad. It's gonna do a lot of money up there, suffered a little bit. Yeah, our resist still isn't perfect. It's still pretty low, but you have 2,000 health, which is pretty nice. That should take him out. Hey, Health Wisp over here.
Senator's gonna crush off little cub, break his bones, take his gold.
Okay, yeah, we should be able to take this fella out, no problem. I don't know how much health he's gonna have. I got no idea. Could be less than the Marleybone bosses. Yeah, 765. Yeah, not anything to worry about. Will a vampire with a 45 blade take this fella out. No, it definitely won't. Don't even think that in a one it will do it. So we'll have to do that. I think about it too. I should have put this trap on the minions. It's all good. It's all good. That take out the boss. I think what I'm gonna do for the series pretty much going forward is I'm gonna I explained, I think in the last, maybe just the episode 14 or 15, but explained that I'm only recording on the weekends. It's the only time I have to record these like hour-long episodes. Even if I shortened them, I don't think I'd have the time. Or I shouldn't say the time. It's not necessarily time that's the problem. It's circumstances, I guess, or other circumstances. But I'll record on the weekends, and I'll hopefully upload throughout the week. Uh-oh. Not good. It's the weirdest thing to me, because that only happens really when I record. It's so weird. Really don't know what that's all about. Take him out. Sweet.
What's this? Hagen sent a child to come and rescue me? He should be ashamed. Still, though, you defeated Shattertusk handily. You're no mere youth, I'll wager. You have my thanks. I can find my way out now that Shattertusk is dealt with. You'd best head on back to camp and speak to Hagen.
Yes, sir. Doing all this just to talk to the king.
You rescued Einar, I gather. Good work. He'll tell others of your battle with Shattertusk, and your fame will spread. You're building a name for yourself. Becoming a hero our people will respect and admire. I'll teach you our ways, but there's a price to be paid. When you become one of our people, our enemies become your enemies. We've fought the Grendels for as long as we can remember. They're an ancient, evil race of terrible monsters. Some Grendels are small. We can fight them well enough. The most horrible of the Grendels are like avalanches. They must be avoided or endured. Easier to fight a mountain. Long ago, the Grendels invaded an old fort nearby named Drogarth. Now only spirits dwell there, but spirits have great wisdom. If you want to see our king, you should learn to fight the Grendels. Go and speak to the spirits there. and learn of the Grindles.
Right, alright, alright. We'll take out some Grindles. Again, all of this just to speak to the king. Alright, Avar.
I was one who fought the Grendels when they attacked this fort. First they attacked in daylight, and we fought them honorably. Then they crept over the walls in the night, and attacked as we slept. We fought bravely, but we were defeated. Now, this place is called Drogarth, the home of the dead.
It is said that the first mother of all the Grendels went to all things in the world and begged them to swear oaths to never harm her child. She went in disguise as a kind old woman, and because she seemed harmless, all things agreed not to harm her child. Only the Spider Queen said no to her request, because spiders are evil and harm is in their nature. In time, the old oaths were forgotten somewhat, but those first Grendels could not be harmed by any force, and they grew great and terrible. Now, the greatest and oldest Grendels fear only one thing in the whole of Grizzleheim: spiders. Go and speak to Soren the Wise, and he will teach you to use that knowledge.
I wonder if the spider thing is like a nod to the second arc. I don't remember when Grizzleheim was introduced compared to everything else in the game.
I was blacksmith of this fort, and I fought alongside with the warriors, with weapons of my own making. My finest weapons were not enough. Our axes shattered. Bent against the most powerful Grendel, we lost the battle. That will not happen again. I will show you how to make a weapon with the venom of spiders. A blade that will defeat the Grendels.
Soren the Wise teaches you the ancient arts of sword making, including some special techniques that will serve against the Grendels.
Okay. Sword making techniques sounds pretty useful.
Did the spirits grant you the wisdom to fight the Grendels? You now know how to make a blade that will do harm to the most powerful of the Grendels. All great heroes need great weapons, and the best are those you forge yourself. It's time you had such a weapon. Go and speak to the blacksmith Einar Thunderhammer. He will show you what to do.
Okay. Einar, what you got?
So, my rescuer returns. What can I do for you today? You know how to make a special blade to defeat Grendels? I can't wait to get started, but I'll need a lot of help. I'll show you how to forge your blade, but I can't do much without my forge tools. The split hooves took them from me when I was captured. After you rescued me, I looked around for them, but I couldn't find them. Could you go back to the split hoof camp and get my hammer and tongs from them? The one named Bloodseeker has them.
Seeker. Boar camp. Darn quest arrow. Oh, would you look at that? 3 of them here, but I don't know if it's going to be a 3v1. In case, we'll do this. And put a second one in just to be safe, I guess. Let's do a couple of ghouls. Why not? Oh, that's criminal. That's actually criminal. I can't believe that just happened. Oh. Good news is, with a 45, I believe this will just take one of these guys out. Or at least it should. Should do pretty close to 650. Nice. More than I expected it to do. They trap it again. Going crazy. Got us. Alright, though we got a one hit. Not the end of the world. Mr. Bloodseeker, let's try that again. $25, same as the other guy, right? Not bad. The mobs have got a surprising amount of health here. Bosses are right where I'd expect them to be, especially after this would be like just after beating what's the world? Craftopia. Okay. This is enough to take him out. On to the next guy. Okay. Things never change in these lower worlds. They sure do love that spell. Okay, pal. Again. Very nice. Back to Einar. But we are also getting pretty close to a point where we might have to consider retiring our hard steel. Playing that. Get to the point where I make that decision. Wrong person.
It's good to have my tools back. I felt like a part of me was missing. You have earned my gratitude once again.
No problem.
Now we're going to get started. This blade will be forged according to our ancient traditions and the new technique you learned in Drogoth. For the metal of the blade, we're going to need a lot of peat. Peat is a kind of rotten mud we use to make bog iron. To make the blade deadly against Grendels, we're going to need spider ichor. The easiest way to get some of that is to defeat some bog spiders. You should be able to find peat and bog spiders in the webwood.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. Sure, again, all this to talk to the king, by the way. Go to the green teleporter. Eat. Kind of just laying around. Getting pretty far there, buddy. It was Wisp. Try to get into a fight with the balance guys and see if we can avoid the ice one. Perfect. Time that pretty good. Also shows I've got to switch back to the mob deck. Dang it. Do this guy. Dang it. Back to mob deck. We got balance boost. Shoot. Sure, why not? Kind of a waste of the trap to use a poison here, but whatever. Do this. Dang shame that there's not an animation for this one attack. Perfect. Back to the teleporter.
brought back some peat and spider ichor, just like I asked. Now on to the next step. I'll begin burning the peat down to get the bits of iron out of it. It's a long and dull task, so I won't trouble you with it. What I need next is beyond my ability to retrieve. The stinger of the Spider Queen Skothy, mightiest of the spiders. Skothy lurks deep in a cave in the webwood. I can craft it into the metal of the blade along with the spider ichor, and that will make the blade a bane to the Grendels.
Okay. Back to the green. They got a big old spider.
I can hear your little footsteps intrude into my web, and you shall pay the price.
$780. She got a little more health than the other fellas did. Yeah. Keep the blade. Minion out of here. Get rid of that too. Need that. See if we can get that vampire up. Jeez, that was an easy fight. Hit us. Go make us a blade. Bane of Grendels.
Good work. It's in excellent shape as well. You're truly a skilled warrior. Let me get to work on the blade.
Einar begins hammering on the rough ingot of metal, folding the stinger into it until they are united. He hands the sword to you.
This is the finest weapon I have yet forged.
Ooh.
You have your blade, but it needs to be blessed. Even with the spider stinger, it's still just a mortal blade. The blessing of the spirits will give your blade great power. And in this battle, you will need every advantage you can earn. Your blade must be thrice blessed, so you must seek the blessings of 3 spirits. In the woods by the boar camp is an old forest spirit called Iron Splinter. At this camp's waterfall, you can evoke a water spirit named Whisper Tide. Finally, you can summon a fire spirit called Storm Glare from the campfire outside.
Okay.
Outlander, I sense in your heart the intent to rid our land of the Grendels. They foul the waters and plague the land. I bless your blade with the grace of water. Go now and use it with great skill.
Well, that was easy. Back to board camp once again. Uh-oh. You guys, but it's got boss fight written all over it. I'm gonna make this video go until the end of this area, so this one might be a little bit longer.
Who trespasses upon my domain?
Boost on this guy, so honestly, taking that next round. Yeah, I don't want any games here, just get him out of here. Nice. Next round we do the same for the minion. Like that, another one bites the dust.
You fought with honor, Outlander. I see that you are not one of the Grendels who spoil the land. I sense you bear a blade of power, made to defeat them. My blessing of oak is upon your blade. Wield it with great strength.
Oh man, appreciate that. Back to the campfire. Why that happens. Whoa. Game's a little weird about that stuff. I don't know if this was the same way. That first room that Apollo was in, it kept doing that. Dude, that doorway just kept like breaking.
Forged in fire, this blade was made to be born against the Grendels. They act without honor, without pride, and should be defeated. Show me your sword, that I might bless it with the flame of courage. Within the heat of battle, it will not fail you.
Okay, okay.
I can sense the power that blade now holds. You've now a weapon fit for a hero, or even a king. Now that you've got your sword, there's little I can do for you. Take it to Hagen's shield breaker and he'll guide you to victory.
The plan.
Did Einar Thunderhammer help you make a blade suitable for a hero? You're well on your way to becoming a hero, but even the greatest hero must choose battles wisely. You don't want to be distracted in your fight with Skellek, the mightiest of these Grendels. Skellek and his Grendels have overrun another fort belonging to our people, a place called Drogarth. Go there and defeat a few of them. They'll be wary of you after that.
Okay, okay. Do that. Easy. What was that again? Red one. Process of elimination, folks. Okay, so we gotta defeat these guys and then the garters, which are side. Yeah. Okay. Do this. Okay. Do this. Take out you. No way. There's no, I just got played like a fiddle like that. That's crazy. Guys, good shield. Well. Yeah, we might end up needing that now. Cool. Right on this guy this time. They both just went for it. Amazing. Take him out. Shield again. Diabolical. Do the storm guys. Smooth sailing so far, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we passed. Nice. It's been a little while since we got in a gamble like that. Hope that weakness doesn't set us back here, but I think it's fine. Weakness got us. That's okay, though. We got that side deck hit. I don't even need it. We got another Banshee. Focus and get out of here.
That will teach the lesser Grendels to stay out of the way when you face their leader, Skellek. Now there's no stopping you from confronting Skellek and driving the Grendel from Drogarth. Go to the fort now and see if you can find your way in. If the way is not clear, always remember that spirits contain great wisdom. Seek their counsel if you need it. Return here once you know how to enter the fort.
And no.
The doors are sealed. You can tell that powerful magic is at work here. There must be a way through.
Those doors were sealed by a powerful Grendel shaman called Thulin. Only those bearing runic talismans may pass. To gain your own runic talisman, you must defeat Thulin and take it from him.
Yep. A lot to this quest, man. Holy smokes. This little area.
You've come a long way to find me, Outlander. A pity you'll never see your homeland again.
Good thing we got the boss deck on. Well, Life Dude might put a death shield on him, so I might have to use poison for this one. Lucky, and next turn we worry about it. Nice. Good pal. It's nice, nice, nice. Just the boss, and we can deal with that. And I think that gets the job done. Okay, we are back. Fight's over.
That's how they kept our warriors out of the fort? A runic talisman? You're as clever as you are powerful. I could sing honeyed words of praise about you all day, but it is deeds, not words, my people will respect. Now is the time for you to bear your Bane blade against Skellek, leader of these Grendels. Go to Drogarth and drive him from that once fair place.
And do. Take care of business, ladies and gentlemen. He's a death boss too.
You find that the runic talisman has already opened the gates to Drogarth.
Foolish little hairless one. I cannot be defeated. What's that? A thrice blessed spider bane blade? Ah!
Oh, now he's scared. Spread out too. I don't think we need that right now. Get him. Huge first turn pull, I'm not gonna lie. He doesn't have much health either. And dude. And pretty sure that gets the job done. Yup. It's sweet. I don't know. I just gotta take out this fella. And the end of that. And now that we are a hero, we should be able to meet with the king. To see it.
You did well. The whole valley echoed with the sounds of your battle. Now everyone will know you to be a great warrior. I've taught you all I can of our ways, and you've learned every lesson. I will speak highly of you to Bjorn when I see him next. For now, you can go and tell him we would be honored to have you in our band.
Thank you kindly. Back to Bjorn. We've already got our first spell quest. That fellow right there.
It is good to see you once more. You appear well enough. Hagen taught you well. The word of your deeds sped here like on the wind. Our people are impressed with tales of the glory an Outlander has won. But it is still too soon for you to see the king. Deeds grow in the telling. Your reputation is great, but not yet mighty enough. I sense that you are a great warrior in your homeland. Your own people must have need of heroes. You should return home for now, but remember, you are always welcome in Grizzleheim. If you wish to earn a heroic name in Grizzleheim, Outlander, fate has put you on the right path. A small village called Andersholt is troubled by raiders whose ways are not known to us. Go there and learn what has happened, and offer what aid you can spare. Go and speak to Egil Axebearer, the guardian of Andersholt.
Yeah, normally that's where the first part of Grizzleheim would have ended, and you'd go back to doing your own thing. And then, yep, again, level 25, you come back and you do this. So now, we get to be a hero in Grizzleheim, even though I would have argued we already were, but that's neither here nor there. Alright, that's going to be it for this episode. Next episode, I'm going to start it again with spell quests, so I'm going to learn... It's animate, and I think it's the damage bubble for the death. School. I think that's what's next. Then, if that doesn't take too much time, we might do our first Grizzleheim spell quest with Eric Weird Rune, right here, because this is the guy who gives the spell quests here in Grizzleheim. So, I will catch you all in the next episode. Peace out.